G'day, guys. We are back. Hopefully, you had a very nice weekend. But we're straight back into it. VYC women here today, and we're going to touch on this youth grading process because it is such a hot topic, isn't it, Mark?
Yeah, you're playing. Everyone's playing every game like it's like it means something this year. It's not we can't make finals or but we're not going to finish last. Let's just check out for the season. It's you literally got to play to get out of those bottom two spots. But also there's obviously the challenging for the top four spots at the same time. So some very exciting basketball to bring it home in the back end of the year.
Absolutely. And look, safe to say here, it's probably a little bit more interesting over here on the Western Conference as it is for our Terrell.
Yeah, I'd agree there, Ted. The you look at the Terrell Conference, and it looks like the top four is sort of pulled away a little bit. Waverley is sort of in touch, but the top four looks pretty comfortable. But they're going to be jostling for positions, as is the case during our conference system at VYC level.
Yeah, absolutely great. And then you look towards the lower end of the ladder, and Hume sitting 7th of 1 and 13, Knox sitting 8th and 1 and 14, and then Sandringham was 6th place, playing pretty much the same games, 15 games, and they're 7 wins and 8 losses. So
they got a lot of catching up to do, Hume and Knox, so It's not looking all that good for them. But at the same time, you know what? You've had a rough year. There's not the worst thing going to the qualification day, and sort of maybe it is a fact of going down for a year and coming back up.
Absolutely, which effectively isn't even that bad. And to be honest, who knows what these teams are going to look like come grading process.
Yeah, exactly.
On the other end, you've got Ballarat, who are sitting 1 and 14. So again, a team that's probably edging towards this youth grading process. A team that, like you said, might be worth them jumping down to Youth League One, having that sort of rebuilding process, and then jumping back up or trying to make that jump back up.
And that's the whole point, Ted. The whole point of this qualification system being in place is that it's not so hard to come back after a year of a rebuild. It's not hard. You finish in the top four, and you've still got a chance to get up into VYC again. So it's to open up a few more doors for some movement for the teams that require it.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you got Nuttawading sitting 7th in 4 wins, and 11. Dandenong 5 and 10. Frankston 5 and 9. So it's very, very interesting when you look at that 5 to 7 spread. Frankston having not the greatest start to the season for them. I believe they were 0 and 7. I believe.
Yeah, I think they might have been when they went head to head at Ballarat, and they've started to hit form at the right time, and they look more likely to be trying to push for that top 4 rather than with their current form, rather than drop into that bottom 2.
Yeah, 100%. And then Dandenong, a team that was, grand finals champions, 2 years ago or 3 years ago, I believe. Nuttawading were in the grand final last year. 2 teams that are, pretty up and down. They're winning, but they're also having tough losses. They're having disappointing losses. So it's going to be extremely competitive as we get towards the end of the season as to which one of them is going to be in this grading process.
Yeah, that's it's going to be a close watch, and those teams are playing because I'm guaranteeing they don't want to be part of it.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
So let's have a look at what potential, the hypothetical matchups, Ted. What have we got?
Yeah, so we'll list our first 2 games because they are very important, just as much as the other 2, but we have some second chance opportunities here. We got Nuttawading 7th in Watson versing the 2nd place Bulleen, and 7th place in Terrell Hume versing the 1st seeded undefeated Eltham Wildcats.
And what matchups they are. That's incredibly exciting for those teams to be able to go head to head. Nuttawading Bulleen, we haven't seen that for a few years in the VYC women level.
No, we haven't, which would be great for basketball, to be honest.
Yeah,
really good for basketball.
Yeah, what a matchup that would be. Some historic sort of rivals there.
Absolutely. Knox 7th in Terrell. They would come up against Wyndham, who are currently 4th, and then Ballarat 8th in Watson coming up against the 3rd place Camberwell. Interesting to see Camberwell sitting in 3rd, but again a very very different sort of matchup there. Very sort of country team of Ballarat coming up against the very central Camberwell.
Yeah, that would be an interesting matchup, and Camberwell certainly have the size advantage there with Killian and Rachel Smith, who both would still be eligible next year. So yeah, interesting as well because I mean Campbell were holding that second position behind Eltham for until they dropped 2 games to them. So a great matchup, and the Knox Wyndham matchup. Wow, that'd be exciting. Wyndham, we know they can score the ball. They play some really exciting basketball. Um, it'd be an absolute cracker, Ted.
Absolutely, two quite interesting associations as well. Wyndham, a massive, Big V association at the moment with their 2 champ teams doing exceptionally well. Knox, Youth League, and then NBL 1.
Yeah, historic powerhouse, aren't they?
Absolutely. It'll be very interesting. Look, that'll be all for us today, guys. We'll catch you very, very soon.